This tip from the pro brought to you by Golf University, the world's premier golf improvement program. Craig, having some major issues with my putting. I feel like I'm hitting it really well, but they're either going too long or too short. And it's usually around the 8 to 10 foot mark. What have you got for me?
Yeah, welcome down, Andrew. Look, a lot of the people I teach say exactly the same thing. They feel like they're putting it okay, but just not holding enough. They're lipping out, they can't get the speed. It's really important that you understand how the ball rolls, and there's probably 200 golfers here today, and I'd say probably not one or two of them would actually understand how to roll it correctly. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that with you. The really important part is on the golf club, we actually have loft on the putter. It's between 3 and 6 degrees of loft, and that's really important to understand. So the perfect putt happens when we can get the shaft just slightly in front of the ball, and we want to make a slightly stroke on the way up.
An upstroke or
a slight little upstroke,
oh, right.
Okay? But with the shaft leaning forward. That gets the ball rolling quickly as possible. So they've done lots of testing on this, and they've tested and retested. Perfect putt happens, a little bit of shaft lean, and a little bit on the way up. So the way you can check and see if you're actually rolling the ball okay, it's quite easy. Just get a couple of golf balls like I have here, and I've coloured them in two. We're just going to aim the stripe at our hole here. And when we make the putt, we're not going to worry about the result, but we're going to see if we can actually roll the ball correctly.
Right.
So if I do it correctly, we should see white on white, black on black. If it turns into a blur, we know we're not rolling it correctly. And it's a really good way of understanding if you're rolling it correctly. So I'm going to set myself up, I'm going to get my hands slightly in front, and I'm going to try and hit a little bit on the way up. And we can see there,
perfect.
We have that perfect black and white.
And if it's not rolling right,
you know that the ball's, you're not stroking the ball correctly.
Right.
So I don't care from a coaching perspective whether you go cross-handed, claw grip, belly grip, it doesn't matter as long as you're rolling the ball correctly. So you've got to find a way to do that. So before I start making any technical changes, let's just see what happens with the ball. So why don't we just have a look and see how you roll it.
See if I'm hitting it properly.
Yeah, so we'll just set it up for you here. A couple of these ones here, and we'll know straight away. All we're going to do is watch the ball now.
So slightly forward with the shaft?
Slightly forward, yeah. And you want to hit slightly on the way up. Look at that.
Hey?
It's all in the technique.
Yeah, you fixed me already.
Well done. Let's see if you can do it again. Hands forward.
Oh, you're a magician.
There you go.
Oh.
And for the punters out there, very important, if you can roll the ball correctly, you're going to have a lot more chance of holing out. If the ball's rolling correctly and it hits the hole, instead of lipping out, it'll want to dive. So if you play with good putters, the ball seems to want to go in. If you're a poor putter, it wants to miss all the time. So that might help the listeners out there for their golf.
Brilliant. Thanks, Tappy.
No, my pleasure. Hope you keep holding them like that.
So do I. For more great golf tips, including the free 3 Steps to Chipping Mastery video series, visit golfuniversity.tv.